concepts to me. So left ventricular prominence, so it's the last contour of the left side of the heart. So normally when the left ventricle enlarged, the cardiac apex actually points downwards and lateralwards. So you check for the cardiac apex, it points downwards and lateralwards. That's the direction of enlargement of your left ventricle. You look for the cardiac apex, points downwards and lateralwards. So that's one sign of left ventricular enlargement. Some radiologists will, in their report, will just only say the heart is enlarged. Pero you should ask what chamber is enlarged, di ba? But this is actually helpful for the physicians, for the attending physicians. So the heart is enlarged, actually not it's a big statement for me. So next slide. So yeah, so the next question is, so which ventricle is enlarged? How do you determine what chamber is enlarged on the chest radiograph? So the best way to determine which ventricle is enlarged is to look at the corresponding outflow tract, diba, for each ventricle. So we discussed the outflow tract kanina, yung left ventricular outflow tract, right ventricular outflow tract. So if you determine that the heart is enlarged, diba, the ratio is cardiothoracic ratio is more than 15%, and the main pulmonary artery is big. So if you measure from the tangent, diba, there's convexity of the main pulmonary artery segment, and that is slightly beyond the tangent line. So most likely the right ventricle is enlarged. So in right ventricular enlargement, we also look at the cardiac apex. In right ventricular enlargement, there's rounding of the cardiac apex and upliftment of the cardiac apex as differentiated from your left ventricular enlargement. In right ventricular enlargement, the cardiac apex is rounded and it is uplifted. Yung tinatawag nilang boot-shaped heart. Pero that's not specific. So next slide. So if the heart is enlarged and the aorta is big, so most likely the left ventricle is enlarged. So we also check for the cardiac apex if it points downwards and lateralwards. Okay. So again, remember, the best way to determine which ventricle is enlarged is to look at the corresponding outflow tract for each ventricle. So if the cardiothoracic ratio is enlarged, you check if the aorta is enlarged. If you see that the aorta is also big, that's left ventricular enlargement. If the MPA is big or convex, that's a right ventricular enlargement. So once one ventricle is enlarged, it's possible to tell if the other ventricle is also enlarged by chest X-ray. So next slide. So again, remember the cardiac contours. So next slide. So the bottom two are not very important in adults, but I also use the left ventricle to determine whether it's enlarged or not. So next slide. So we lecture kayo afterwards. 9 o'clock.
Opo.
Next time na lang, next lecture na lang. So we'll end here now.